identity conversation, and this is In the Nudes. This is where we unmute. This is the podcast where we unmute. And yes, my name is Rita. My government is Rita. My nickname is Rita. Every other name is Rita.
And this is your girl, Gloria, but we discussed and agreed that for the purposes of this show, my name will be Glow in the Light.
I forgot mine was supposed to be Sunshine.
So Sunshine.
My other name is Sunshine, yeah. And so welcome back to the final part of our identity conversation.
Yeah.
And now, even as we are winding up, we want to just now, we did it from
the other way around.
The top and the bottom. And so now we want to deal with definitions today.
Yeah.
So we are going to deal with this. What are the definitions? So you'll have to watch from this episode, maybe going 3, 2, 1, maybe, after we give you the definitions of what is up. And so we'll start with the quite obvious one.
The dictionary definition of actually identity.
Mm-hmm.
And there's various definitions that we get from the dictionary of what identity is. And just some that came up first, we had the distinguishing character or personality of an individual. So it's your character and your personality that gives you your identity is one way that the dictionary has defined identity as. Also rephrased, I believe is something similar, is the unique set of characteristics that can be used to identify a person as themselves and no one else. It's like a birthmark or...
Wow, they say characteristics. Calm down. Oh my goodness, I was just about to be deep and say this.
So like your character means like your honesty, your character, like how you conduct yourself and all of that, yeah? So when you think about personality, you're thinking of what, the sanguines, the male, the cholerics, the flags.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what kind of a person this is?
Like the various, not the characteristics of those personalities.
Is this person loyal? Is this person a liar? Is this person a thief? I think thief, liar, conman, ziko class moja. I think that's one class. But what is really standing out even from the definition is character and personality.
Yeah.
That really, really defines who your identity is, according to the
dictionary.
Thank you very much. And I don't know how true you think that is.
So my what I would be comparing this to would be the Bible definition. I prefer that because it has more like the origin of where all of this comes from, as opposed to now like this a dictionary. Because the reason I like to read the dictionary is it kind of gets you an understanding of what a word means, and when you use it, what it's supposed to mean. But on this, I hear it. I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with it. Yeah, the character. Yes, the character, the personality. Yes, but that's not identity.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Maybe we can deal what the society. What the society deems identity as. Yes. And since we are in Kenya, a society that dictates who identities are Kenyans.
Okay.
And so many Kenyans identify with their tribe or ethnic group.
That's true.
That's true. But I think that's the. I don't kill you. When in Nani, you're going to say in Kikuyu. That's not the first thing, but it will cross your mind.
Yeah, but a lot of times when you're getting to know someone, that question is...
And it's very paramount.
Yeah.
Even when people used to go to look for jobs, you'll just be like, I'm Gloria Ann. Okay, so Gloria Ann. Somebody's still trying to reach out, because in so many people's head, ethnic and tribes really make a big chunk
of who you are.
So many Kenyans follow traditions that relate to their ethnicity. And so that also makes, because Kikuyus do things
our
like
culture.
this, our culture.
Yeah, like the things we do.
So as a tribe, as an ethnic group, yes.
Because you're a Kikuyu, you do, like if you're getting married, there are certain steps
the
that you follow.
and everything. Or even circumcision.
Yeah.
The circumcision in different, as we do it for preteens, when somebody is just getting into formal. Others do it way early. It's never that serious.
Differs, like in the Muslim community, 8 days.
8 days. See? Yeah. So so many Kenyans follow traditions that relate to their ethnicity from the name they give their children. Come to think of it. To the way they serve their food. Who is supposed to eat what? That used to really get me. The girls should eat a gawat.
Gizzard.
Is it gizzard? I don't know what part, but I used to like the big sayo.
We were having this discussion in the office, and my colleague was saying he's Maasai. So he was talking about how in their community, like men cannot eat certain body parts.
Imagine
or goats or something.
There's
some that are specific to just women.
Yeah, people are often especially proud of their native language. As it tends to be correlated with their ethnic identity. So that's a big thing. I think it speaks to a lot of things. The name, how you're named. There are people who, if ukizaliwa usiku, like you're given a name that
says that you were born at night. So just by your name, I can tell the time of
the day that you were born.
Okay.
Or even now you're like the Kikuyus, like from our ethnicities, you're named after somebody. That's how it goes. And and now it's funny when this person was a drunkard. It's so unfortunate that these things go down. I'm not going to speak specifically to him, but if this person was, it's very funny that sometimes those traits come to you. Okay, well, that's a whole different conversation. When we go there, we go.
But there's I'll speak for my cultural, my ethnicity. I'm Kikuyu. The logic behind naming your child after your mother or your father or your husband's, whatever, was they were supposed to take up after. So you're basically taking this person who's just been born, and you're giving them the characteristics of the person you're naming them after. So it was, I think, supposed to encourage fathers to be good fathers, otherwise your children won't want to name
and then
or something like that.
To backfire and people did their own thing. That's profound. Imagine just naming your child after a con man. Massive. Somebody who's killed by mob justice. God forbid. Yeah, and so also the society, I think what the society gives identity to is the roles of the man and the wife, right? Or rather, man and the woman, not the man and the wife. What a woman should do in society and what a wife. I keep on saying wife. A woman should do. I'm sorry, I keep on throwing you outside of I'm so sorry. I think it dictates that you're a woman, like you said something that people don't expect you to be in the construction world, is that you're a woman, or this is as much as you can be able to do in that circle as a woman. And it's so unfortunate. I'm a roles too. Also, again, you said something which it was positive and negative. What your mother used to do when people will finish, you clear there, but your brothers are there. They could have need. So on the flip side is that your mom was teaching you what to do as a woman against society. Because what could have happened to the dishes if your brothers moved them?
They'd have got into the kitchen anyway.
So it's an expectation, manenos, where the society expects this from a woman. You clean. Kazi ya mwanamke ni kuclean, kupika,
give birth.
Give birth ni lazima ikuwe tu ni pande ya woman juu.
But that's the expectation.
But exactly. When a dude cooks, food will leave her. When he moves the utensils, they'll get to the kitchen, to the destination. And so I think it's the values again. People, our parents, what they were taught, that's what they transferred to us because they did not know any better. We can't fault them. And so there were those roles. I don't know what you're thinking about the roles that the society dictates upon man and woman.
So I'm sure you guys, because I've had guys taking a lot of issue with this.
But they do.
When we've been called gold diggers, when you have the expectation of a man to provide for you, to give you all the money, to pay your rent, to pay your utilities.
It's bad. In fact, that's a stand. It's like it's a checkbox. Like unanifanyia nini as a man. It's crazy how this society has treated.
And these are just like some of the things that a way that you get your identity from the society that just kind of dictates how you live your life.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people have been coming up to like defy this, when you don't want to be the one who's always doing the cooking, the cleaning, and
You're becoming, you're not submissive, you're not a woman. You're becoming a, yeah. Which is, I think, is wrong. It should be unlearned. That's the thing. Because boys should be taught how to do. Me, I know. Even in us, being that, okay, my sister has a son. My nephew is okay. My nephew is a son. Wow. But he's a man. He cooks chapos. He cleans. He does all these things.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, the woman in his life
will have an amazing time.
Yeah, we'll have it will not be an abomination. Unlike somebody who comes from a family where the man says, hiyo si kazi ya wanaume, ama hiyo si kazi ya society. Society again. Yeah. Which we can't fault them, it's what they know. Yeah. Based on what they
on the society they also grew up.
Yeah, and what they were passed down by the authority, which was their parents, where they learned it from. Alright, so let's look at what
the Bible definition of identity.
Let's talk about
So from this, you need to define this. We also go to where it talks about it. Yeah. So Genesis 1, chapter 1, verse 26. It talks about like how man comes into being. So it reads, "Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea," and basically that's talking about dominion. But here we see God was talking. A lot of interpretation for this particular verse was he was talking to himself, like God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. Yeah. So they're discussing amongst themselves about creating us. Yeah. So for me, I'm already seeing identity there. I was created in the image of God. And then there's also the verse that we were talking about earlier. Do you want to read that, John?
Yes, I want to read it in...
You just read from the Amplified.
No, let me read. I want to read it from here so that people can just hear and then we can dive deeper into what it actually means. And it says, "Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God." And then there is a hyphen to describe who the children of God are. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, or a husband's will, but born of God. Now, I want us to dive deeper into exactly what this means. Let me read it from the Amplified Version. It says, "Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. But to as many as did receive and welcome him," that's what it says, he gave the right, in brackets, what the right means is he gave us the authority and the privilege. By giving us the right, he gave us the authority and the privilege to become children of God. That is, to those who believe in. What does believe mean? Those who adhere to, those who trust in, and those who rely on. Those who subscribe to, anyway, his name, basically. Yeah. Those who were born not of blood. By that, it means natural conception. Not of blood is natural conception. Okay. Nor of the will of flesh, physical impulse, tusaidiane kimwili, nor of the will of man, nor of the will of man, that of a natural father, like father in a good relationship, father-mother, but of God, that is a divine supernatural birth. They are born of God, spiritually transformed, renewed, and sanctified. So,
what I hear you saying there is that God creates us, he's created us in his own image, and my biggest takeout from what you've just read is my identity is my choice. I get to choose exactly who I am. And like we said earlier, you pick your hard. It's hard to be a child of God, it's hard not to be a child of God. Pick your hard. Like it's going to be your sole decision. So identity is a choice.
Yeah,
you get to choose. If you want to be a mother, that's your identity. Fantastic. And just let me add on to that. There's a time I had gone for a seminar, my daughter's school, and there were like these prominent women, okay? And as they were introducing themselves, all of these ladies were just talking about, this is my name, I am a mother, I am an entrepreneur, I am a this, that, I am a this, that. And for me, having already had this discussion about identity, I just felt of how that burden must be to be all of those things.
I know.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have to answer to all this as
Yeah.
an entrepreneur.
Yes,
Because
you
you
have
can't say
to
as an
just say
entrepreneur
that.
when you don't know yourself.
Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel as if
Mhm.
you spoke about choice.
Yeah.
It says, yet to all who did receive him.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you choose to believe in his name,
Yes.
if you choose
Mm-hmm.
to receive him,
Yeah.
then you become a child of God.
Yeah.
That's
So
where it
it's
begins.
your choice.
It's a choice
You
thing.
want-
You have to choose to become, because honestly, it's a choice. You choose how you want to be. Say to yourself, how do you want us to call you? This days there is even the pronoun thing. So who are you? How do you want us to call you? They, them, and the what, and the what. Those things,
Who do you
right?
identify as?
Which is a choice. Imagine
A
you're
him,
being
a
asked, a him, a her. So are you a she, he, a what? You know those things, eh?
And then,
So every place is a choice. And
Yeah.
so even in God, God is also gracious enough. So if you believe in him,
he's offered it to you.
if you believe in him,
If he's offered it to you, but you have to receive
you have
it.
to be the first one.
Yeah, you
You have to be
receive
the
it.
first one. And when you do, it's automatic. You know how even when we talk about child, I think in everybody's mind, the biology, I think because we are thinking about it logically,
Yeah.
biology kicks in. How does a child come into being?
Yeah.
It has to
But
be-
it's creation. You see, if you take yourself outside that physical act, because that's the biology we understand, who created the first person.
it's God.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's still.
But
that,
I'm saying,
yeah.
why sometimes, even for me, sometimes you're a child of God and you're like, your mind, your flesh and your spirit will be talking about two different things. Like, child of God. Child, it will just bring you, logically your mind will go to biology.
Yeah.
And that's why, even in the Bible, they have to clarify what they mean. That's why I think there was that dash. Because yet you are two apart children of God, full stop. All of us would have had our ideas. And that's why they went on to say, not natural conception. That's not what we are talking about. Not a physical impulse until like, oops, amaka, imepita tu hivi ndio umekuwa child of God. No. Not ati a father and a mother, a wife and a husband have come together and they have brought up a child. No. It is spiritually. And so you have to make a choice.
Yeah.
So that God,
Mm-hmm.
in a divine and in a supernatural way,
Yes.
you can be given birth to.
Yeah.
You can come into being
Mm-hmm.
because of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
And so you are, you see, the word transformed means you are once something,
Yes.
you're something different.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yeah.
So in between there, I honestly feel as if choice is it.
Yeah.
Between this and that, so that transformation can be seen, you must have said, I don't want to be a smoker, I don't want to be drinking every weekend. Well, for you it was not that place, but so you have to have made a choice, even in that, because you could have easily done your pregnancy and gone back to what you knew. But you made a choice after hearing,
Yeah.
and you are transformed, and you are renewed, and you are, what is the other word? Sanctified.
Mm-hmm.
And now that makes you a child of God. So there has to be choice in it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we are in agreement with that. Like, whatever it is, you get to choose. It's up to you. If you want to
How
live
you
your
want,
life
yeah.
being known as.
is your pronoun?
Yeah. What is your pronoun?
What
What
is
is
your
who are you?
pronoun?
Who do you identify as?
Yeah.
It comes down to what you want. And now, just to tie this, or the ribbon, to tie it together,
Nice.
to seal it nicely. What it does to just explore why is identity important. So I've had the privilege to sit through like teachings and just appreciate this whole discussion about identity. And there were three main things that we discussed that ideally in my mind should get you thinking about it. And also as you do your audit, as you check yourself, as you question, you'd be able to see these things coming through. Yeah. So like your identity will always give you belonging. So when you think you're a mom, you belong with other moms, and it gives you that sense
that
of
makes sense.
yeah. So when you think you're a child of God, you belong with God.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. It always gives you a sense of belonging. Everywhere where you, whatever you identify as, you'll always find belonging there.
That makes a lot of sense. By the way, if you figure out an entrepreneur, you'll always gravitate towards
Other people who
other
are doing the same
entrepreneurs.
thing.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So your role can easily you will always be in spaces where it affirms that you are that.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. The other thing we do with our identity is we get guidance. You behave a certain way, you do certain things certain ways because of your identity. Like you don't do this because, you know, there are certain, like you wouldn't eat from the dustbin because you have, you're not a chokora. You know, you wouldn't, there's a certain way you don't talk because that's not how people like you talk.
Yes,
yes. So you always get that guidance, how you think, how you talk, how you treat people. Yeah. Your values are all determined by your identity. So like your focus, it all comes from that position of, you know, who you think you are, who you identify as really. And then the third and the most, I think this is my most favorite thing about being a child of God is inheritance. So you inherit from wherever you belong. Yeah, and sometimes this may not always be apparent, but the thing about, like, you know, your parents, your mom, whatever she owns, when she's not around, or even when she's around, she still gives you from whatever. That's inheritance. And just imagine having that from, you know, being a child of God, the person who owns the world,
imagine
the king of kings.
You inherit everything. Wow. And so that I think is why it's important. So you belong, you're guided,
you have your guidance,
and then you have inheritance.
And I think that's basically it from, regardless of where you choose to be. Again, you get to pick. It's your choice.
Again, choice. That word
comes back down to that.
Choices. I know. Wow. Yeah, and so I think that's such a nice way to finish this. And I think if nobody audits themselves after this, I don't know what they're going to, because I think we have given them enough questions to ask. Even finish the definitions, just in case people got it twisted.
Because sometimes it's not the most, well, I don't know, is it sexy or it's not the most obvious place to start from. Because you know, you live, you exist, and there's some things you never really think about until you know you're prompted to.
And so even as we conclude, this has been nice. This has been a learning curve for me. I'm sure I've been just trying to, even as we go, just answer these questions in a very deep way.
Who do you identify?
Who has ever taught me about identity? I've never even thought about it. Should I have thought? So for me, this has been a learning curve. I really appreciate you know, the conversation. You're a learned person indeed. That's Greek for when you went to school. And so that brings us to the end of our episode today. And again, we were just tying the bow on the topic that was identity. And the different subtopics of identity. And we hope we have helped somebody.
At least just ignite, get you thinking about it and what it means for you, what it looks like, and how it affects you, if nothing else.
So I hope we have done that for at least someone. Somebody to start asking the right questions that will lead them to look for answers. And we really hope that they will fall on the right definition of identity. And so this is where we end, but we want to just say, if you have loved our topics and there is something you feel as if we need to discuss in an in-depth way, we are here for you. Just leave it in the comment below. Tell us what you think about this identity issue. Tell us how it has affected you. Talk to us. We are here. We want to hear feedback. To just, you know, not be here, two girls just thinking.
Two girls and a ball.
No, 2 girls and a ball. Just thinking we know what's up and we don't know what's up. So just tell us what you're thinking, who identity is for you. And so we are really glad that you've been here all this time. Thank you so much for watching us. And until next time,
stay blessed.
And we go start with that adios and stay blessed.